After the board, we come to placing pieces on the board, okay, and how the pieces move. For a beginner, one of the easiest ways to remember the placement of pieces on the board is to start by placing rooks on the edge of the board and thereafter placing the other pieces moving towards the center of the board. Okay, so we'll place our rooks on the edge of the board. The rook moves vertically along file and horizontally along ranks. Because in chess, pieces fight for squares, so the activity of a piece is measured by the number of squares that it controls, that it can move to. And all pieces are most active when they are on any of the 4 squares, either e4, e5, d5, d4. If a piece is on any of these squares, it will be at its most active. For the rook, if it's on e4 like this, it will control 14 squares. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So a rook is worth 5 points because of how much work it does. A rook cannot jump over other pieces. Okay? It does not jump to e8 when it's capturing this bishop. Because chess is a territorial game. It's a war game. When I capture you, I move to the square where your piece was, and I take control of the squares that you are controlling. That is the idea with captures. So the rook captures this bishop like this. Okay? Immediately after the rooks, we place knights. The knight's movement is unique. It can move 2 squares along a rank like this, 1, 2, and 1 square along a file, 1. Or it can move 2 squares along a file, 1, 2, and 1 square along a rank, 1. Whether it's 2 squares along a rank, 1, 2, and 1 square along a file, or it's 2 squares along a file, 1, 2, and 1 square along a rank, 1. The movement of a knight forms an L shape like this, or like this. And for a knight on a central square like this, the knight will control 8 squares. Because of this, the knight is worth 3 points. After the knights, we place bishops. And for a bishop on a central square, because it moves in any direction diagonally, a bishop will control 13 squares. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Because of this, the bishop is worth 3 points. Now, a bishop cannot move past any piece that is obstructing its path. For example, here, a bishop on e4 can move all the way to h1. From e4, it can move all the way to h7. From e4, it can move all the way to b1. But from e4, it cannot move all the way to a8 because it will be jumping over this pawn. So what happens? It does not jump over, but it can take any other piece on the board that is within its bounds of movement. So for a pawn like that, the bishop will capture it like this. Okay. Now, bishops can be considered good. They can be considered bad or they can be considered active depending on where they are placed in relation to their central pawns. For example, this bishop is a good bishop because it is in light squares, it moves in light squares, and its central pawns are on dark squares. So the central pawns are opposite the bishop, and the bishop's influence can be felt on the opponent's side of the board, because in chess, an attacking piece is a piece that can get to the king in 2 moves or less. So if this bishop, its influence can be felt on the opponent's piece, it counts as an attacking piece. Now we come to a bad bishop. This bishop is a bad bishop because its central pawns are on the same color as the bishop is on, and they block it in its own camp, so its influence cannot be felt on the opponent's side of the board. So this is a bad piece. Then we come to the active bishop. This bishop is on light squares. Its central pawns are on light squares, but the difference is this bishop is in front of the pawn chain, and still its influence can be felt on the opponent's side of the board, like this. This bishop serves an active function, so it is an active bishop. Okay. After the bishops, now we are left with 2 squares right in the middle of the board, one for the queen and one for the king. So how does a beginner know and remember which piece goes on which square? By remembering that the queen takes its color, meaning a white queen on a white square and a black queen will be placed on a black square. Okay. The queen moves like a rook vertically along files, and also like a rook horizontally along ranks. The queen does not move like a knight. 1, 2, 10. Doesn't do that. In addition to moving like a rook, the queen moves like a bishop, diagonally, like this. And on a central square, the queen will control 27 squares. Okay, let's count. So we start with the file. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We go to a rank 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Diagonally, the longest diagonal. 14. We've done 14 for the rook because the queen is a combination for a rook and a bishop. So we come to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Because of this, the queen is worth 9 points. After the queen, we come to the king. And all the pieces that occupy the first rank are in place. The king moves 1 square in any direction. Okay? Horizontally along files, and vertically along ranks, and diagonally. Unless the square is already occupied by a friendly piece, it does not capture its own. Or the move would place the king in check. So this rook controls the d5. The king cannot move to d5. It will be going in check. The king cannot go to d4. It can also not go to d3, because then any move into the d file will place the king in check. The king is also involved in the special move of castling. Castling is a move in the game of chess involving a player's king, and either of its original rooks. It is the only move in chess in which a player moves 2 pieces in the same move, and it is the only move aside from the knight's move where a piece can be said to jump over another. Whereas in castling, the king moves 1, 2, and then the rook jumps over, crosses over. That's short kingside castling. queen side, the king will go 1, 2, and the rook crosses over. Alright, like this. King side, and like this for queen side. And now we come to the foot soldier, the pawns. These are to be placed on the second rank, like this, in front of the pieces on the first rank, like this. Now we are done setting up the board. Note that the player with the brighter colored pieces, like here in this case, white, moves first. So the brighter color moves first. Alright. Now, pawns can move 1 or 2 squares when they are leaving their home squares. And for the rest of the game, just 1 square, like this. 1 or 2. The rest of the game, just 1 square, all the way. Pawns do not move backwards. They don't move backwards. They don't go immediate side. They don't move forward, sideways, side. Forward, sideways, side. They only move forwards. When they are capturing now, again here, they don't move immediate side, immediate left, or backwards. They only move forward. But when they're capturing, they capture on a forward, sideways diagonal, like this, to the right or to the left. So if we're capturing this pawn here, we'll do it like this. If they're capturing back from with this to here, like this. That is how pawns capture. Now, there's another special move called promotion. In chess, promotion is a rule that requires a pawn that reaches the 8th rank. Here. From here, 1 all the way to 8. When it reaches the 8th rank, it promotes. It can promote into the player's choice of a queen. It can promote into a queen, a rook, a bishop, or a knight of some color. It does not remain a pawn, and it does not promote into a king. Okay. After promotion, we come to the rule of in passing. Okay. The rule of in passing works like this. If a pawn is on the 5th rank, like this, okay? Because let me explain a bit of history regarding this rule. In the 15th century, people modified pawn moves. Pawns could only move 1 square at a time. But in the 15th century, people modified pawn moves. And from then on, pawns could now move 2 squares at a time. And because of that, some dynamics changed. It made it easier to create passed pawns. Say if this pawn is on the 5th rank like this, and these pawns are not there, this one could just jump twice. It's no longer moving 1 square. I could take you, it jumps twice. And then it's all the way to promotion. So it created that. So in order to prevent that, this rule was created, that if a pawn is on the 5th rank and the opponent's pawn jumps twice like this, I would take you as if you only moved once. Okay. Now this rule, it does not apply in 3 situations. I'm on the 5th rank, you jump twice, and I play somewhere else. And then you play somewhere else. Now I want to do in passing. It's no longer allowed. Okay. Another instance where it's not allowed, I'm on the 5th rank like this, and you move once. Then I play somewhere else. Say I defend my pawn, and you move past. Now you are next to me, but you got there after moving twice. I cannot do in passing. Okay. Another instance is when I've already passed the 5th rank. I'm on the 6th rank or 7th. I cannot do in passing. It will be unfair. Okay. That's about in passing and about how the pieces move.